I've measured the resin in, and don't do it sitting down on the bench. When I had the container of resin, I had the measure cup up by eye, so I could make sure I was at the right height. And you can see we're nicely up to the 60mm mark. If you pour too much, just tip your cup back a bit, hold it at that angle while you pour the hardener in. And that way you've got a pretty well the ratio. Don't worry about mucking around pouring bits back in the container. You end up with more trouble than it's worth. So I'm going to put the hardener in now, and then we'll go mixing. Now for the mixing. If you have a look, it's pretty well separated. You've got to mix really well. I use tongue depressors. They're brilliant. They're cheap. They don't splinter. So you don't end up with bits of wood in your epoxy. They are so versatile. They get used all the time around the workshop. Now I'm going to put the camera down so you can see how it mixes in. Even this, I've had this for a fair run in the microwave. It's still quite thick. It's a fairly thick product, and it takes a bit to mix in. Pull up through, pull it up. It'll take you a few minutes of mixing to get all this mixed in. We're starting to get an even colour coming through, and it's fairly warm. Now you scrape around the edges. It's important to go right around the edges and into the corners, because if you don't, guess where the unmixed resin will be sitting. See how you trap quite a few air bubbles? We got a secret trick for getting rid of air bubbles. Now if you're new at this, don't try and do it direct from the container. Always pour into a separate container and then give it a quick mix. So scrape out as much as you can out of the first container, and I'll show you how to do it. Into your second container. Always scrape out as much as you can. Now the reason for doing this is in case you had any unmixed pour on gloss, you don't take it across the other container. Or if you do, it'll easily mix in once you do the quick mix in the other container. Done my quick mix, now we're going to pour. No mucking around with it.